Hello everyone, Harry from Fog of War here. This is something I've never done before. I'm going to do a live unboxing of a package I've got. So this arrived today. I have just come back from picking it up, and it is an order of Red Dawn that I've ordered from Blitzminis in Singapore. So the Australian distributor doesn't have stock, won't have stock forever. I punted quite a bit of money to make it worthwhile getting this stuff shipped down so that I can get my hands on it and open it up and try and do some reviews. So let's have a look at what's inside the box. Okay, so this is the box that has just arrived. Let's get the handy opening implement and open it up. Violence, death, here we go. Yes, that was me just stabbing myself in the finger with this knife. I really shouldn't be let loose with anything sharp. I think I'll just put that out of the way. Okay. Let's see what's in here. So first up, Tunguska. So I'll just get the glare off that. So to make it up to get free shipping, I added some extra stuff in. So they had Tunguskas, so I grabbed one of those. Here's the first Red Dawn thing. This is the ASU-85, and that's an 85mm anti-tank gun on a PT-76 chassis. So this is a resin and metal kit. I'll open it up and have a bit of a look, but it's only, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts I'm looking at on the back here, so it's only a few parts. That'll be put together nice and quick. By the Team Yankee timeline, these are starting to get a bit long in the tooth with the 85mm gun, but they're iconic. I remember them from my youth, so it'll be nice to have a look at those. What's this? Oh, the 2S9 NONA-SP mortar battery. So the NONA is a self-propelled mortar, something that the Russians are very fond of, and this gives VDV, the Soviet Airborne, some serious fire support. So again, this is a resin and metal kit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts for this one. And there's 2 of these in the box, I believe. Just add that to my little pile. What else have we got? Don't like the sound of that. Yeah, so another resin and metal offering. You know I'm a big plastic fan, but, you know, resin and metal is what some of this is available in. I'm just taking a bit of a bashing in transit. Let's hope it'll be all right. So this is interesting. I probably should have ordered more of these, but they allow you to do the BTR-D, which is just the basic transport version. They also allow you to do the BTR-RD, the anti-tank missile carrier. So that has, I think, a spiral missile on the chassis. Or you can make the self-propelled AA version, the BTR-ZD, and that has twin 23mm cannons on the top of it. And that really was a simple expedient. They took the ground mount for twin 23mm AA guns and just bolted it onto the top of the BTR-D chassis. And it is just bolted on. The wheels of the wheeled chassis are still attached to the gun mount, so you can dismount those as well. So I'm not sure what variant I'm going to build of these, because I'm going to have to build a VDV force, aren't I? I'm really going to have to do that now, given I've bought all this stuff. But yeah, all of these will get individual reviews. Let's see what else we've got in the box. Sounds of straining and groaning. Here we go, the book. Okay, so we've got the Red Dawn book. I've reviewed this in a separate video, or at least bits of it, in the What's Coming in Red Dawn video. This is really nice. There's so much different and varied stuff in there. So if you're a Soviet player, there's so many more weird things now you can add. And if you're a US player, You've got all the fun stuff that you used to have, plus you've got the militia. And I know a few people are very interested in the Cubans. So the Cubans are in here, and they get much older Warsaw Pact stuff that you can have access to. Interesting, and a lot of people were very interested in that. Not an army that I would probably look to field, but yeah, a lot of people seemed very interested. So there's the book. Okay, what else have we got? The Piece of Resistance. Unfortunately, from Singapore, because they just come in these DHL bags, shipping costs an absolute fortune. The shipping for this would have been $110 US, which is about 180 to 200 Australian dollars at the moment, because the Pacific peso is not worth very much. So yeah, pay quite a bit for shipping, but at least Blitz has stock. So thanks Benjamin and company up in Singapore. Love your work. But it does come just in a DHL baggie, which means quite often it looks a bit like this when it arrives. The stuff inside is usually fine, but yes, certainly a tad munted. Makes it very hard to do the reviews to make it look pretty, because it comes pre-munted, but what can you do? He also, and I do owe him a review by the way, for the thing over my shoulder there, which is the Chinese Team Yankee starter set, which is very, very cool. He sent me one of those to have a look at, and that is West Germans and East Germans as a starter set with a simplified Chinese rule set. I really need to go and look at that more closely. But just the idea that it's not the US or the British or anybody, it's West Germans versus East Germans as a starter set. Blitz did the same thing with the Liberation, which is their Chinese language version of the Flames of War starter set, which a lot of people really, really liked. So if you're interested in those, they're available on the Blitzminis store. Blitz isn't sponsoring this. He did send me that one for free. This I paid lots of cashola for, so all of these, yeah, I paid retail for. But this is the big thing that I was waiting to see. This is the BMD Air Assault Battalion box set. And this comes with a ton of stuff. I really, really wanted to get my hands on this to review it, because you get the BTR-D in here, you get the BMD, which is the airborne version of the infantry fighting vehicle. So it's the airborne's version of the BMP, smaller and lighter. Very weird vehicle, because the crew or the troops have to get in over the engine and then down into a compartment. So yeah, there's a very weird arrangement of this thing. When they dismount, they have to open a couple of doors in the top, run out over the engine at the back and hop down. Very strange, but they seem to like it. What else is in here? The tanks, the T-64BV. So the T-64BV takes the T-64 plastic kit, which we all know and absolutely love. It's a beautiful kit to build, and it gives you an upgrade sprue, which is a new turret and ERA armor. So the same way as they did to turn the T-72 kit into the T-72B, they've turned the T-64 kit into the T-64BV. So that allows you to add ERA armor. A few people online have been asking, can you buy the upgrade kit separately? And as far as I know, not. But Battlefront do offer single sprues on their website sometimes, at least they used to. So it might be worth contacting them and seeing if they'll do that. So this is the box set. Do you want me to open it? Oh, you do? Oh, okay. We'll start at the munted end. There we go, that makes it easy. I won't slice open an artery or anything stupid while I'm doing this. So I've never done one of these live unboxings on air, so it'll be kind of interesting to do that. That's always, I usually leave that to Modelling for Advantage, because they like to do that stuff. So let's just try and unscrew up this box just a tiny little bit so that it looks like it hasn't been used as a wheel chock for the aircraft that flew it from Singapore. Okay, so the very first thing you get that's very, very important is a bunch of bubble wrap. Infantry bases, what's in there? Oh, cool. Air Assault Platoon 24 figures. So that's the metal figures for the VDV. So they are, I can confirm they are metal. I'll put a close-up in of that in a little while so that you can see exactly what they are. Yep, and a bunch of infantry bases there. So there's that. That is a plastic part which is loose in the box. That's not good. I'll put that there. That looks like the bottom of a turret for a BMD. So life has been a bit hard for this box. Oh, look, another Air Assault Platoon. So that's 2 of those. Very, very pretty. What else have we got? Oh, the Team Yankee objective. So this is the Golden Archers Team Yankee objective. So it's got a BMD, and around the back here, which you won't be able to see, is the sign for the fast food restaurant that's definitely not the one that shall not be named. It's absolutely definitely not. What else is in the box here? What are you? That looks like BMDs. Yep. BTR-Ds, sorry. Yeah, so those are BTR-Ds. Interesting choice. So here, and again, I'll put a close-up in so that you can see what's going on. This is the tracks, and they are resin. They're not metal, they're resin. So you get resin hulls, plastic crew figures, metal pieces for the 23mm AA guns that go on top of them, and resin tracks. So just be aware of that. That's an experiment that they're doing. What's that when it's at home? Oh, that's you get the alternate command team. So that's the command team from the movie with the Russian commissar and the Cuban commander. Flight stands. There are a couple of helicopters in here, none of the exciting hoovy-groovy helicopters, but helicopters nonetheless. Let's look at some plastic. What's this? Oh, look, helicopters. So you get 2 of these, and these are the Mi-24 Hind. So you get lots of those. Let's put those down. Possibly not out of shot. I'll just leave them there so that you can see them. Ah! T-64BV upgrade sprues. So again, I'll have to go close in to have a look at that, but you've got 2 turret pieces, you've got replacement side skirts which have ERA armour on them, you've got an ERA thing for the front, you have a replacement rear turret bustle, and another piece of ERA armour that actually glues onto the turret so that you get the full coverage of ERA blocks on the turret. Okay, so that's those. 1, 2, 3 of those. BMDs, plastic infantry fighting vehicles for the VDV. So again, we'll go in close on one of those, but it's that combination tracks and hull sides. So the tracks and the hull are one piece. So that's, you need to be a 5-armed gibbon to actually put these together when you actually get all the hull pieces together. But Battlefront usually try and do stuff with the engineering to make that a bit easier. And you get the 2 turrets. So you've got this turret with the 73mm low pressure gun, and you've got this one with the 30mm autocannon for the BMD-2. And you also get a missile with the BMD-2 as well, which is kind of nice. Do you get a missile with the other one? I don't know. I'll cut that bit out because that's embarrassing that I don't know. Okay, so I've got 3 of those so far. There's probably more of them in here. Yeah, look, there's one. That's 4. 5. Keep digging. What do we got? Tank Commanders. So you get 2 hard Tank Commander plastic sprues. What are these things? T-64 tanks. So you will have seen these before. These are the standard plastic T-64 kit. Again, these are really nice to build. I have built a number of these. Whoa, they are a bit on the wonk. Okay, so they've taken a bit of a hit. Yeah. It's had a hard life, this kit, getting here. Shouldn't be much of a problem, but yeah, they did take a bit of a bash. What do we got in here? 1, 2, 3. So that's more BTR-Ds. So that should take that to, what did I say, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there should be 8 of those. How many is there supposed to be? 9. Ah, 9. And because it's a starter kit, you get the A5 rulebook. There have been some comments from newer players about whether or not the A5 rulebook is the same as the big rulebook for World War III Team Yankee, and it is. In fact, I believe even the page numbers match. So when somebody says a rule on page yada, it's in here on the same page. This has been in a little plastic baggie in here and has survived the trip really, really, really well. I get a lot of these in the end because I keep buying box sets to review and stuff, so I liberally hand those out to people at tournaments and stuff if they don't have them. Let's have a look at what else we've got. Okay, this looks like decals and unit cards. So there is a good whack of unit cards in here because there are so many different things you can build. Let me just put the decals down for a second. Okay, so you get a Soviet force diagram. So if you aren't accessing the online force builder or you haven't got the book, there's still a Soviet force diagram that you can use here. What have we got? Hinds, T-64s. Does that do? So that's just a standard T-64. It does say BDD armor. Yep. BMD Air Assault Battalion, BMD-1 Air Assault Company, BMD-1 Transport Unit Card, BMD-2 Air Assault Company, BMD-2 Transport, BTR-D Transport, so you can put some of your infantry in BTR-Ds, the BTR Anti-Tank Platoon with the missile, the BTR-ZD, the AA one, so that's the one they're actually asking you to build in the kit. Oh look, here we go. Gets its own card, the T-64BV Tank Company for Red Banner, the BMD Air Assault Company, BMD Air Assault Platoon, BMD-1 Transport, BMD-2 Transport. So there were multiples of those in there, I believe. So that'll get you started, but for anything else, you will probably need to buy the unit card pack. But that will get you started with your VDV. Decals, what have we got? Those are weird. What are they? Oh, okay. Special air assault badges. So these, and again, I'll put a close-up of these in. These are the white air assault insignia, the parachute and 2 aircraft symbol that goes on their vehicles. So there's 2 sets of those in 2 different sizes. These look like Soviet tactical numbers, and this is the standard decal sheet for the Hind that you will have seen before. So, interesting. I didn't realise some of these decals were new. I thought they were just going to be the standard Soviet decals. So that is very cool. You get to put those on your built-up kits. So what else is still in the box, he said, very slowly and awkwardly putting those back in there. Start here. These are always interesting. I'll just unbend that corner a little bit. So these are the Start Here one, which gives you all the assembly instructions for all the different kits in here. As the Restless Kaiser points out with this all the time, this doesn't show all the options. So quite often there are other ways that you can put the kits together, but these just show the ways that they're talking about for this. Again, very useful. Talks a little bit about what the units are. So the Hind, the BTR-ZD, BMD 1 and 2, BMD Air Assault Company. Talks about your new army. So it actually gives, this is the list that you can make out of this particular box, and tells you how many points that comes to. So there's 41 points in here, okay? And the question everybody asks is, after you've got the starter set, where do I go next? It's on the back here. They make some recommendations. So they talk about, in this case, adding the ASU-85 Assault Gun Company, the 2S9 NONA-S battery, ASU-25 Frogfoot Aviation Company, so they want you to get some more air. Yeah, those are good ideas. 2 Hinds are never going to be enough, so you're going to need some more. But you accidentally get Hinds with just about every kit that you get, so, you know, eventually you'll suffer from Hind build-up, and you'll have to give them away to your friends. So yeah, that's what's in this starter set. I think it's great value. I always used to get hung up on the initial cost of the starter set, and then the Restless Kaiser and I talked about it quite a bit, and he talked about the value. So he was looking at, this is what you get. Okay, there's an initial cost for it, but when you break it down per model, it is the cheapest way to buy, to start into a force, or to get into Team Yankee to start with. So this is what arrived today, okay? All of these things will go in the review queue. The review queue is a bit clogged at the moment. It takes time. Anyway, all of this stuff is here. I will go away and shoot some of the inserts so that you can see stuff closer up. I'm Harry from Fog of War. Thank you very much to Blitz Peaces in Singapore for sending this stuff down. It is very nice to be able to get my hands on some of this stuff. I know it cost me a whack to get it shipped, but it is good to be able to get this stuff. It's kind of hard being a reviewer in Australia because we always get very, very late shipping on all our gear. So yeah, thank you to Benjamin there. And you've been watching Fog of War, and these things will be reviewed shortly. Thanks for joining me.